Hi, how are you? I'm Mel, and this is my 2023 Build Your Own Palette. This series is done in conjunction with Kara from Beauty and the Frizz, Kendra from Kendra Morgan Official, Kelly from Keep Beauty Real, and then Lock Maiden as well. So I'm new to this, and I will link all of their channels below, and I think there's a playlist I can link as well, but I am joining in. I did post my version of the January palette on Instagram, but I am now getting into the February palette. Here, I had lost my voice then, so I'm joining a little bit late. This is my 10 pan palette, and our theme again is Viva Magenta. So a really fun theme. And one of the things that I'm doing a little differently than everyone else is I'm using this as a sort of a declutter throughout. So I wanted to just briefly tell you what I'm decluttering. And the reason being, I have so many singles that I have and depotted palettes that I have duplicate shades. So I want to keep the very best of those shades. And so this is my Viva Magenta shade. This is Hot Tamale from Makeup Geek. And I really, I think this shade, which is right here, truly does show the Viva Magenta swatch. I'll go ahead and put the swatch up in the corner for you, but it is not too pink. It's not too red. It really is Viva Magenta. And I actually think this is a good shade for my skin. The shade that I'm on the fence about, because I think with this, there's a little bit of like depot and a little bit of on the fence. And that's this shade. This is from VISEART. And this was just a little bit too blue for what I wanted to do for this project, but I'm not ready to declutter this shade. I depotted this out of a BoxyCharm, and I need to decide on that. If you ever decide you want to depot your BoxyCharm VISEART, I'd recommend you do not do that. I ended up losing almost every single shade, and I'm really good at depotting things, so recommend you don't. And then the other shade, this is the Declutter shade. This is really, really similar, but slightly more pink than the Makeup Geek shade Hot Tamale, and this is STEV from the KYLIE Bible palette. And then I wanted a shade to deepen everything up a little bit, maybe outer corner, you never know. And so I decided to go with BITTEN. This is also from Makeup Geek, and that shade is swatched right here for you. You can see these are a bit patchy. Little concerned about the patchy factor of Makeup Geek when I swatch, but I know that these perform really great on the eye. And the one I'm decluttering, and I'm not doing this for every shade, just these two, but I ended up having a shade almost identical right here, already in my palettes. This is from the Kylie Jenner birthday palette from, I believe, 2018. Great shade. It performs well. I just don't need two. So I'm more likely to notice and choose the Makeup Geek than that shade. So the Kylie shade's getting decluttered. The next shade right here, I really wanted a metallic magenta, and this is Curtain Call. I'm grateful that this is the only one I have. Makeup Geek Curtain Call is the perfect metallic magenta. I wouldn't want to. I would need to. And then I wanted to do a duochrome for like inner corner or something. And I thought about pulling one of my Adept shades because I have so many great ones, but I decided to go with this shade, which is Prism. It is barely a duochrome. It kind of is like a peach to white to pink kind of a shift from Makeup Geek. And this is their old formula, and now they're even out of business, and duochromes have come a long way, but there's something to be said for a very smooth, sort of subtle duochrome. I think it has a time and a place. Then we have a cream shade right here for doing the brow bone, and that is this right here. It is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I did depot this out of a Soft Glam palette, and this is one of my favorites. ABH palettes depot really well and easily, in case you're curious. And this is one more of those. This is Zam from the ABH Jackie Aina palette, and I have not swatched this one yet on my hand, but this I thought would be a really fun topper. It kind of carries some of the undertones through, so I thought Zam would be really, really fun to use. The Jackie Aina and KYLIE Bible palettes, they're getting a new life in my makeup library because I actually use these in build your own palettes and things like that, and I see them, and I wanted to see my collection. So here's another one from the Jackie Aina palette, and this is Credit. And it's a good dark, almost like a mulberry shade. So smooth. And so then the next shade is right here. You might recognize this shade. This is one of my favorite eyeshadows in my entire makeup library. This is Lovelies. And this is an interesting shade to me because I once had a loose pigment in this shade from Ulta. And before I started getting into palettes and higher end makeup, this was like my daily wear. And when I found this, I was like, it's like coming home. So it's peach, it's pink, it does a lot. So I think it gives a little bit of a different dimension. Just long time favorite shade. This is my second shadow. This is Bottom Line from Makeup Geek. And I love this brown. It is you can just see, look at that shiny goodness of a brown that we have here. And it's just a good shiny brown. And I think a dark brown that's matte, that isn't shiny, has a very important purpose, but there's just something a little bit special about a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of shine. And then I realized the thing that I'm really missing is any mid-tone kind of a crease shade, but I don't really need very many of those. So I just put in one. This is Honesty from Sydney Grace. Debated many, many shades. And in the end, I went with Honesty because it's just pink leaning, just very slightly pink leaning as a neutral. So I think that it's good. The shade that I wanted to kind of put in here is actually Sandcastle. This is from the Summer Days Light Palette from Sydney Grace. And I'm still kind of debating this one, but this one is actually almost the same exact shade as Honesty. You can see those two are so similar. I have like a dark spot here. I'm not sure what happened with that, but maybe I have a bruise that highlighted. These two shades, though, you can see are almost so similar that there's not a good point in keeping both shades, Sandcastle and Honesty. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Sandcastle back in the Summer Days palette, and I'm going to check for other, I guess, sort of like duplicates, and maybe put my Summer Days palette back together as a palette and put it into my palette inventory library instead of keeping it as singles. So if I do that, then I'm going to keep it. If I don't, then I'm probably going to keep Sandcastle, put Honesty in my declutters because I don't need two of those shades. I've already done just some light makeup on my face. I'm gonna leave the swatches on, but I might be taking my facial life into my hands. I'm gonna leave everything the way it is and go ahead and do a look with all of this. One, two, three to the groove, come dance with me. Swing out, dive in. Come on, honey, show me how you move it. Swing out, dive in. 1, 2, 3 to the groove, come and dance with me. Swing out, dive in. The party don't stop till we drop. Come on now, swing out, dive in, yeah. Swing out, dive in. Come on, honey, show me how you move it. Swing out, dive in. 1, 2, 3 to the groove, come and dance with me. Swing out, dive in. The party don't stop till we drop. Come on now, swing out, dive in, yeah. Come on, honey, show me how you move it.
Hear the music around, hit that Java, come down. Got that jukebox playing loud. Swing, swing with me, dancing on until the dawn. Got me drinking all night long. There ain't no time like tonight. Swing, swing with me. Sway your hips around and move me to the rhythm, take you on the dance floor. Feel you close to me, like the harmony. Baby, come and swing with me to the beat, it's on repeat. I'm playing loud for the crowd, won't you swing with me? Turn it up and feel the heat. Oh, ooh, break it down, go to town, won't you swing with me? To the beat, it's on repeat. I groove around to the sound, won't you swing with me? Turn it up and feel the heat. Ooh, baby, baby, won't you come and swing with me?
think that'll do it. This is it for my Viva Magenta palette. This is the first look I did with this palette and I'm loving it. I think I'm going to actually use this more than I thought. I thought I would do it. I would play, it would be fun, and then I would not end up wearing it, but there are definitely shades in here I haven't had a chance to use yet and shades that I am debating on, and some products I'm not sure about too. The glitter glue that I used worked great on my right eye, but I'm already creasing on my left, so it might be time for new glitter glue. Just trying some stuff out. But anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you are getting a really good use out of your makeup library and that you are really being conscientious about what you're buying and not just buying to buy. So I would love to know down below if you do build your own palettes, if you depot palettes, if you have any questions about how I depot and decant, I would love to answer those. I'd be happy to explain to you what I do and to make more videos of that if you're interested. But that is it for this BYOP. Thank you to Kara, Kendra, Kara, and also to Locke for just letting me join in with this. So I feel really weird saying thank you to Locke when I know everybody else's first name. So maybe I should ask you your first name, but maybe you're being private about that. I don't know. So anyway, that is it for this. And I will see you in the next one next month. The theme for next month is mood lifters, things that bring you joy. So that's going to be a really fun one. Talk to you soon.